We have the roll call, which we can see that we have 4, and we have Ann Wires missing, Ingrid's missing, and that's it. Oh, David Turk. Unless anybody else is online other than Barb. Oh, Ingrid's right here, good. Just right. Yeah. No, I just right. Okay, do I have proof of notification?
Yep.
Saw it on the board downstairs too. Okay, we have a 10-point agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda? Mark moves. Ingrid Grassmiller seconds it. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, motion approved. And then we have the minutes from the January 8th meeting, and did everybody get a chance to look them over? They were fairly straightforward. Okay, motion to approve the minutes. Okay, Chad Cosgrove moves and Mark Cody seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Did you get all that?
Good.
Okay.
Great.
All right, extension update. Yours. And then you want to start with educator report, or what are you going to start with?
Yeah, I can start with the educator report. Since at the current moment, we'll just have the 2 educators. You've been hearing about them back and forth. I thought I'd talk just a little bit about the new ag regional positions. Because they are different than what we've had in the past. So what I just kind of wanted to highlight for you today in my report was I pulled up the statewide plan of work. They can get a feel for what the state priorities are for those 2 positions. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over a lot of those things, just kind of give you the quick priority points. For the regional crops position, the crops program area, let's kind of list through their program priorities. So the first one is high quality forage supply for Wisconsin's dairy industry. So that's really tying back, forage production, harvest methods, those types of things. So we can make sure that we're ensuring high quality feeds, improved ecological diversity, productivity, and resiliency in grain production systems. As we talk about the continuous row crops, how do we minimize some of the impacts that has? Are there things with incorporating cover crops and doing more different types of crop rotations? Will that improve productivity and health of the soil? Another one on grazing systems and conservation, along with grazing systems incorporated. Nutrient loss into soil, or nutrient losses to water and soil degradation. So again, some of those conservation practices, how do we keep the fertility that we have on our soils where it needs to be, not in the river and washing away.
Will this person work with the land conservation? Because they did a report on how much nutrients we were losing.
Yep, so they're pretty much a key partner.
Yeah.
Well, we've always really worked closely with Kathy and Kenny and those guys. So again, where Carolyn before was kind of more focused on the livestock side, this person will now be back doing some of those.
Yeah.
And again, the other thing that's really kind of unique now too, we're really starting to focus on is better use of data decision making. There's so much data and technology out there for producers now. How do you actually incorporate the data that your combine collects? How do you use variable rate sprayers and these types of things to not only save yourself money, but also be more efficient? And then the last one that they have here is just the emerging and existing pests that threaten the food supply and agricultural productivity in the environment, right? It seems like there's a new flight of this coming, or this new insect, or this new weed is resistant to this. How do we keep managing those systems so we don't perpetuate that problem further on? And then on the livestock side, some of the topics that they're looking at on the livestock side is new producer education. We're constantly having new people get into livestock. Especially, it's been crazy since COVID, as people are learning more about their food systems. There's a lot more small. We want to raise our own meats. We want, or as the dairy producers transition out of dairy beef production, for example, there's a different frame of how you need to start looking at your cattle. So that's one of the emphasis that they have.
So under that emphasis, is there actually, are you gonna be doing classes and training on that?
That's the, yep,
That's
so,
the-
yep, so that's the vision. So there'll be classes, trainings, news articles,
Okay.
answer general questions. So things that we've really kind of done in the past, but it's now being more focused on these two instead of, like, when I was the ag educator here, right, I did horticulture, crops and soils, livestock, dairy, farm transitions. So while we've made these more regional, we focused on what each of these people are doing, the hopes that people stay with us longer and actually feel that they're actually accomplishing something and growing within their profession. And so with that, in addition to the regional educators, we also have a bunch of specialists, and we're lucky right now. Joy's on campus. She's farm succession planning for the state, and the swine state outreach specialist is in our offices as well. So it's kind of neat. These programs are like what I said, the state, well, these are state priorities. These educators will come in and they'll figure out what the local priority, 2 or 3 of those priorities that they think they can work on across the county lines seamlessly and provide that education to producers in that region that they serve. That helps clarify.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
So how's eggs at reach?
So the livestock one again is La Crosse, Vernon, Crawford, and Richland, and the crops one is Juneau, Sauk, and Richland. So it's significant, but not so significant that it's drastically different. So try to align the geographies and systems as close as we could. So you're not doing one thing for Juneau County that's not applicable to Richland County. It's something that the educator can replicate all the way throughout that path. So again, just some other things that we're really looking at on the livestock side is marketing. Right now, if you're a beef producer, it's really easy to market animals. They're worth a lot, but that's not always the case, especially as our feed inventories and alternatives are kind of the 3 big ones that they're looking at. So any questions about those priorities and like I said, these won't be exactly what the new people are working in. They'll kind of take those state priorities and look at local needs as well. So they'll meet with, producers, veterinarians, industry professionals, watershed groups, figure out what the needs are for them to develop their program so that we're aligning both the local needs and the state priorities together to develop quality program.
So they'll have office space in every one of those counties?
So they may not have their office so for example, Sam Bibby, who's right now in Vernon, Sauk, and Juneau counties. His primary office is in Baraboo. He spends most of his time in Baraboo, but he does programming in Sauk or Juneau and Vernon counties. So he'll drive out to those counties and do the programming and the schedule business with producers when he's got meetings and stuff tied to it. He won't be bouncing from office to office, for example. And really the reason behind that is just a function of we have to pay mileage for all of that. It really becomes a pretty inefficient system to have somebody just sitting in office just to say that they showed up in that county that day. So we're trying to be very efficient with the time, but still providing all those same resources. And the travel dollars for these positions are funded by the state, so they don't have to make budgets as well. So we're trying to be pretty proactive and pretty flexible. The other thing that comes with that is since we've gone to a regional model, we know there's just a lot of day-to-day questions that come through as well that are kind of those repetitive questions. We now also have kind of like a online general ag question site, so you can go to it. You can type in your question, email address, and if it's, for example, if you don't have email, you can go to the extension office, support staff will help you put it in and give you a phone number, and they send it on, and then within 24 hours, 48 hours, they'll have somebody contact you back with that general question or connect you with the right resource that you need for that question. So we're really trying to be cognizant of it's not exactly the same way we used to operate. We're trying to be much more efficient with the hours that we have.
I think that's really good.
So any other questions on those priorities?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I really appreciate these reports, but what are some of your own goals?
What's that?
Looking forward, what are your own goals?
So me personally,
Yes.
so if I'm the area extension director, my goals are to expand extension right within this county. That's my number one goal. My number one goal is to make sure that we're leveraging all your resources for the best possible quality programs that we have. Each of the educators every year, that will happen in June, sit down with their program managers and they do an actual plan of work. So they identify their priorities for the year as well. So I could go back and look and tell you what each of the educators has established for goals. Some of it might be, increase program here or expand access to this program somewhere else. So each individual educator has their own goal set for the year.
I appreciate that. Good, thank you.
Any other questions? Barb, can you hear?
I'm here.
Can you hear him?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's great. So we'll do the update on, I don't know if everybody knows, I'm not sure everybody knows what happened here.
No, we'll talk about it. So first one is update on hiring of the human development and relationships educator. We did have final interviews for that. We ended up interviewing 2 candidates. The committee decided that we should move forward and offer 1 candidate the position. We went through the process, reference checks were great, got to negotiation, and we just couldn't come up. We were significantly separate in where we thought our salary should be for that position. So that particular candidate declined. It was not a recommendation from the committee to move forward with our second candidate that was at the interview. So unfortunately, that puts us into a failed search situation again. Talking this morning with Catherine Neiswinder, who is the Associate Dean for the South, so she'd be the person I report to. We were talking about this position as well. The next step, besides just reposting it, we're also going to look at putting a hiring bonus on this position. So I'm going to start looking at having the possibility of putting a lump sum hiring bonus onto this position as well to try to encourage more candidates to apply. So we've got the approval to move forward with the position, as long as you guys are still okay with me moving forward with the position. But we're just going to try to, see what we can do. We can't really raise the salary for it, but maybe we can give a little carrot to the hiring.
So, okay.
Yep.
I was in town, so I didn't have to drive far for it, but, people came for 3 hours away or more to be on the interview committee, and it was a big time thing, and everybody gave a lot of their time. When you're advertising, can't you say the range of the salary so that I feel like it was too bad that it was wasted his time and ours, because he came from a long ways too. How can that be a little bit alleviated? I realize maybe he should have done a little more research.
Well, we put the minimum salary on there, so at least you have a pretty good understanding
Okay.
of where the position starts,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
And with university hiring, there's certain levels of work that based on previous work experience, et cetera. And when I'm talking significant, we were $20,000 difference.
Yeah.
Even, so that's, so if we would have went the minimum, we offered them probably 5,000 or 6,000 over the minimum.
Mhm.
So it was pretty significant already.
So, if you're applying for that, you see what the minimum is, you should kind of know that.
Yeah,
Most jobs don't range 50,000.
right.
So that's kind of where we were at with that one.
Yeah, no, I just felt bad for him and all of us, 'cause not me, and you, we were somewhat close in town, but
Yeah, so we do list the minimum. We don't put the maximum. But,
yeah. Okay. So, well, that ad's going out again, or?
So not yet. Like I said, I'm gonna work for the approval for the hiring bonus to try to help. Moving forward.
I'm just saying, it's obvious we're not doing it real.
Correct. I don't think this.
Has anyone notified the schools, or is any, Is there, you had a community committee with that.
Yep, so the committee has contacted, I think Jenny was talking to, I can't remember what her name is, from the school district. It was kind of the Richland Center rep for the committee, and they kind of had a conversation about it. And also decided without the educator in place, that there's really no
Right.
point person to
Right.
pull all that together, even though the committee is in existence, so.
Yeah, it's a pity, but yeah. Okay.
And with the food wise educator, Sheena, would you like to?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Hi everybody. Yeah, super excited. So we had a formal acceptance for the Foodwise Nutrition Bilingual Educator. Her name is Monica Diaz. So she starts a week from today. She will be 90% FTE. That is, that means like 36 hours a week, right? Roughly-ish. And yeah, she's new to the area, and I guess I'll let her sort of write a bio, but at the next committee meeting, hopefully you guys will be able to meet her. I will be in the office. I plan to be in the office next week and the following week for the most part. Every day, and just for the first week, she is kind of starting a little bit. She has a child and is just kind of entering back into the workforce. So we're going to help sort of with that transition in the first week or two. So yeah, but we had 3 really, really, really great candidates. We would have been happy. I just felt really, words can't express how thankful I was, I guess, for the experience that we had. And I'm very excited for our area, and just to be able to continue to provide nutrition education for kiddos, and then also to really expand reach to the Latinx community in a meaningful and genuine way.
Well, that's very nice for the community and everyone. And obviously, this person is a Hispanic speaker also, as you hope would be.
Yeah, she's native Spanish speaker. She's from Mexico. She brings really extreme depth of educational knowledge from her professional background to this space. So yeah, she's speaks both Spanish and English, and understands just the cultural aspects of being, from Mexico, and also being an immigrant, right? And being in this area and understanding what barriers there could exist for people coming here. So
Oh, that's great for our whole community. Thank you.
yeah.
Good job. Any other questions for Sheena? Okay. Anything else that you want to talk about
So,
other than the invoices and stuff?
well, I got the regional agriculture position, just an update of actually where those are in the
Yes.
hiring process. The crops educator closed yesterday.
Mhm.
So the committee will be screening tomorrow.
And you had,
I don't know for sure how many candidates there are. I want to say there was like 7 or 8 possible candidates.
Good.
So the committee will start screening tomorrow, and I think early next week will be preliminary interviews. Keep you guys posted on the final interview, what we decide to do for that one. And then the livestock educator position is posted. That closes on the 29th. So if you know anybody that would be good in that livestock educator role, please tell them to go online and apply. So everything's moving forward with them. So I'll just let you know where we're at with those.
All right.
Any other
We're
questions?
going to be, maybe by end of the summer, you'll be fully staffed.
I hope it's before that.
Okay, the invoices weren't on the thing, so do you have a copy or,
If I can kind of go through them roughly.
I got it.
They're on the vendor, there's a list of there.
As
Where are they?
You're talking the invoices themselves or the accounts?
the accounts,
Oh, you know what? They're on here. They weren't, where did you put
they just got uploaded today.
them? Okay. I looked less. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.
No problem.
You want, I don't have the total amounts, so.
80951,
Yeah,
extension office, SSI program, 13250.
Oh, yep, I do have it at the very bottom, and then 250 for the,
Soils.
yep.
Correct.
So if you guys have any questions on those invoices or not, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question?
yes, Barb.
I'm just not familiar with all this stuff. What exactly is the soils program account and who pays for that?
Yep, so the soils program account is an in and out account for us. So we work with producers in doing soil samples. And so we actually have the account with the soils lab. And so producers come in, we help them fill out the paperwork for their soil sample. They pay us the fee that the lab would charge. And with that, then both the extension office and the producers get a copy of their soil reports so that we can share that information back and forth. Because the producers pay us, then the lab actually charges us that exact same amount. So at the end of the year, this, the soils program extension code basically zeroes itself out because we collect in the fee from the producer and then the lab charges us that exact same fee. So it's really just an in and out account for us to help manage producer information.
Oh, okay, very interesting.
Very informative program. If you got your results back from soil tests and what is in there and what you can do, it's really very
And
good.
these are the 6 people that's on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Are you, the services usually does radon. That doesn't come from
No.
this. No, okay. Any other questions? Computer software is always expensive. Okay, do I have a motion to pay the invoices?
So move.
Bob, Frank moves and Dan McGuire seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Any public comments?
We have no public.
We don't know.
We're all.
We have people up there.
They're out there.
Yeah. Okay, so, we do have one more meeting before election time, this the 11th, and we'll be hopefully following up on all these positions and maybe meeting hopefully the food waste person if possible. That would be nice.
Mhm.
If Sheena thinks that's possible, so that would
Definitely.
be March 11th. Anything else anybody would like to have on there? Okay. All right, and I don't have any correspondence, no nasty letters, no good. All right, I have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Okay, Dan McGuire moves and Bob Frank second, I'm having a hard time with that second name, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Frank seconds.
A lot of people.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for all the updates.